It all began some time ago, when a zombie apocalypse wiped out human civilization. The dead or those about to be buried somehow came back to life and attacked the living. Their bites turned ordinary people into the undead, creatures we now call zombies. The outbreak spread rapidly, and the only way to stop them was to destroy their heads and brains. As the cities became overrun, survivors formed fortified camps, staying alive by scavenging food and supplies from nearby towns. The story then shifts to the present, where two survivors, Riley and Mike, scout a village they plan to raid. They observe zombies wandering the streets, performing human-like routines, trapped in memories from their former lives. One of them, known as Big Daddy, senses Riley and Mike's presence, but they manage to escape before being discovered. Elsewhere, a supply team led by Cholo is clearing out recently killed zombies. His crew is heavily armed and travels in an armored vehicle. Riley and Mike later meet Charlie, a man with a scarred face, and the three join Cholo's team to loot food and medicine from the village. To distract the undead, they set off fireworks, drawing the zombies toward the lights. Riley warns Cholo that the zombies are becoming smarter, able to communicate and possibly organize against humans. He urges them to move fast, mentioning that this is his last job with Cholo. As the fireworks light up the sky, the plan works, allowing Cholo to gather supplies. But once the fireworks fade, Riley and Charlie are still inside collecting medicine. Zombies quickly return, closing in on the teams. Riley contacts Cholo, who says he is with his son Foxy and Mike at a liquor store. Riley orders him to leave immediately, but Cholo ignores the warning and pushes deeper inside. Soon enough, a zombie attacks Cholo. Foxy tries to aim his gun but freezes in fear, forcing Cholo to shoot the zombie himself. Moments later, Mike reaches for a pack of cigarettes only to be grabbed and bitten. When Riley and Charlie arrive, Mike knows his fate is sealed. As Cholo prepares to shoot him, Mike takes Riley's gun and ends his own life while still conscious. Shaken by the tragedy, Riley calls off the mission and the group retreats. Big Daddy watches them leave and tries to pursue, managing only to grab a fallen gun. Back at the base, Cholo and others watch an advertisement for a luxurious skyscraper reserved for the powerful, while ordinary people suffer outside its walls. The entire city is controlled by a billionaire named Kaufman, the man who truly rules what remains of civilization. In addition, Kaufman also bankrolls the armored vehicle for Cholo's team, making it far easier for them to wipe out zombies. Because of this, Cholo has always dreamed of spending his old age living comfortably inside the tower. Around the same time, Riley confronts Cholo, still angry over Mike's death. However, Cholo reacts with cold indifference as if nothing serious has happened. To him, Mike's death was just an occupational risk, and his only concern now is securing a place in the tower. Riley shatters Cholo's illusion by telling him that the rich people inside the building will never truly accept someone like him. Cholo tries to prove otherwise by bringing a crate of liquor and cigarettes as a gift. Meanwhile, Riley and Charlie decide to head north and leave the city behind. Aside from the prison scavenger crew, the city also has a private security force made up of mercenaries hired by Kaufman. The entire city is protected by 3 large rivers and an electrified fence designed to keep zombies out. While passing through a residential area, Riley meets a homeless man who is also his friend. Riley gives him medicine, knowing the man's son is seriously ill. At the same time, Cholo goes to the tower and speaks with the building's guard, who tells him that Kaufman is not currently available. Cholo then hears strange noises coming from one of the apartments and storms inside. There he finds a man hanging from the ceiling. The man's wife is hysterical, and their young son desperately tries to save his father. Suddenly, it becomes clear the man was infected. He reanimates and attacks his own child. Cholo smashes the infected man with a metal pipe and leaves before the authorities arrive. Elsewhere, Riley and Charlie go to the garage to pick up the car Riley bought, only to discover they've been scammed. Riley is furious, having spent all his money on the vehicle in hopes of escaping the city. He then goes to a casino to confront Chihuahua, the man who sold him the car. Chihuahua denies everything but promises to get Riley a replacement vehicle. At that moment, Riley is distracted by a crowd watching a brutal fight between 2 zombies painted black and red. Even worse, a woman named Slack is being used as bait. Outraged, Riley shoots and kills both zombies to save her. The gunshots send the casino patrons into a panic. Chihuahua seizes the opportunity to shoot at Riley, but Slack pushes him aside and takes a bullet in the arm. As Chihuahua tries to flee, Charlie shoots him dead. Soon after, the police arrive and arrest Riley, Charlie and Slack. They are taken to jail, where Slack explains that Chihuahua controlled the casino and worked directly for Kaufman. That is why they are being held for killing him. Meanwhile, the zombie horde led by Big Daddy reaches the city's defensive perimeter. Big Daddy signals the others and uses his machete to hack through the electrified fence, creating a massive breach. Looking inside, he sees zombies hanging upside down, used as live target practice by the military. The sight fills Big Daddy with rage. Elsewhere, Cholo finally meets Kaufman and presents him with the crate of liquor. After years of hard work supplying the tower, Cholo demands an apartment inside. Kaufman coldly replies that there is a long waiting list of people eager to buy apartments there. Cholo realizes this is just an excuse. Kaufman never intended to let him in. Believing Cholo is unworthy of living among the elite, Kaufman then orders security to escort Cholo out and announces that his services are no longer needed, leaving Cholo humiliated, furious, and seething with resentment. As Cholo is dragged outside, he quickly disarms a security guard and knocks him unconscious. That night, Cholo and his crew plan to ambush the head of security and steal the armored vehicle. At the same time, Big Daddy's zombie horde breaches the city's defenses and slaughters the guards at the perimeter. Amid the chaos, zombies tear the soldiers apart, while Cholo seizes the opportunity to hijack the armored vehicle and escape. Cholo contacts Kaufman, who now realizes Cholo has successfully defected. Panicked, Kaufman agrees to listen. Cholo demands $5 million, threatening to blow up the tower if Kaufman refuses. He orders the money to be placed on a boat and delivered to the southern docks by a single courier. Once the call ends, Kaufman has no intention of paying. Instead, he contacts the authorities and arranges Riley's release. Riley is brought to Kaufman, who offers him a deal: recover the armored vehicle and capture Cholo. Riley refuses to work for free and demands a fully armed vehicle and safe passage out of Pitchbook for himself and his friends. Kaufman reluctantly agrees. Elsewhere, Cholo assigns one of his men to wait at the docks. Cholo and the rest of the crew keep moving through the city to avoid capture. Mouse finds a small shack near the harbor and hides there to wait for the money. Meanwhile, Slack and Charlie are released to join Riley's mission. Distrustful of Riley, Kaufman secretly sends Motown and Pillsbury to monitor him. Riley and the team head toward a checkpoint overwhelmed by zombies. He orders Charlie and the others to find usable transport, while he and Manolete search for ammunition. They break into a military armory and discover infected soldiers feeding on their fallen comrades. Riley and Manolete shoot them down and escape with the ammo. As they regroup, a grotesque zombie with its head barely attached hurls it forward and bites Manolete's arm. Everyone knows what that means. With no other choice, Slack puts Manolete down before he can turn. After driving for some time, Riley orders Motown to stop. He reveals that he planted a tracking device on the armored vehicle and plans to take it for himself once they find Cholo. Riley forces Motown and Pillsbury to accept the deal at gunpoint, knowing they would rather comply than be left alone among the zombies. At the docks, Mouse waits in vain for Kaufman's signal. Realizing something is wrong, he warns Cholo, prompting him to begin arming the missiles on the armored vehicle. Moments later, zombies surround the shack. Mouse opens fire, but he is quickly overwhelmed and torn apart. Elsewhere, Big Daddy leads his horde to the river. In a shocking moment, he plunges into the water and survives. One by one, the zombies follow him beneath the surface, marching along the riverbed toward the heart of the city. Not long after, Riley and the others locate the armored vehicle. Riley and Charlie move in to block it, while Pillsbury betrays Motown and sides with Riley. He knocks Motown unconscious, then escapes with Slack, hiding nearby and covering Riley and Charlie. Cholo suddenly stops the vehicle and aims its weapons at Riley and Charlie, realizing Riley was sent by Kaufman to stop him. That only strengthens Cholo's resolve to arm the missiles and attack. Elsewhere, Big Daddy and the zombie horde pour into the human camp, slaughtering anyone in their path. Motown regains consciousness and rushes toward the armored vehicle. Cholo tries to fire on the city, but the plan fails when Riley uses the tracker to disable the vehicle's weapons. At the same time, Motown opens fire at Riley and Cholo. Riley shoves Cholo aside and the bullet hits Cholo in the stomach instead. A zombie then attacks Motown from behind, forcing Slack and Pillsbury to shoot both Motown and the creature. Meanwhile, Charlie knocks Foxy's weapon away and turns the gun on him. With that, Riley's team finally takes control of the armored vehicle. Elsewhere, Kaufman attempts to flee with a bag full of money. When an associate confronts him, Kaufman distracts the man and shoots him dead. Riley contacts Kaufman and reports that Cholo has been captured, but his attention shifts when he sees a massive explosion at the human camp. He warns Kaufman that the zombies have crossed the river and invaded the city. Riley decides to head back and fight the zombies, allowing Cholo and Foxy to leave with their vehicle. Meanwhile, 2 members of Cholo's crew plan to shut down the electric fence so civilians can escape. On the way, Cholo is suddenly bitten on the arm by a zombie. Foxy raises his gun and gives him a choice: die or turn. Cholo chooses to become one of the undead, hoping to use the zombies against Kaufman. As a final act of loyalty, Foxy leaves him near the tower and walks away. Inside the building, zombies swarm the residents, tearing through the wealthy elite. Some survivors escape toward the city's edge but are trapped by the electric fence. Riley and his team reach the control room, and Riley goes alone to lower the bridge and open a path past the fence. He is attacked by a zombie but manages to fight back, crushing its head with the bridge's hydraulic machinery. Outside, the armored vehicle is surrounded. Slack tells Riley to climb in through the roof hatch, unaware that a zombie has latched onto the back. The group pushes toward the gate, tossing fireworks to distract the horde. This time the zombies are smarter and ignore the trick. Meanwhile, Kaufman and his assistant try to flee the tower only to be stopped by Big Daddy. The assistant abandons him and runs, leaving the keys behind. Kaufman is left trapped inside the vehicle alone, as the undead close in. Big Daddy smashes a hole in the car window, pours gasoline inside, and walks away, leaving Kaufman trapped. Kaufman steps out to grab the keys from the bag, but a zombified Cholo suddenly appears and attacks him. As they struggle, Big Daddy returns carrying a burning gas tank and rolls it toward them. The flames ignite the spilled fuel, causing a massive explosion that kills both Kaufman and Cholo. Elsewhere, the armored vehicle finally breaks through the electric fence, but it arrives too late. Fireworks no longer distract the zombies, and many civilians have already been bitten beyond saving. With no other choice, the team fires missiles, wiping out the remaining horde until none are left standing. Soon after, the surviving civilians emerge and begin planning to rebuild the city. However, Riley sticks to his original plan and prepares to head north. The group is startled when a zombie sneaks into the armored vehicle, but Pillsbury quickly throws it out. Not long after, they spot Big Daddy and a few remaining zombies. The team is ready to open fire, but Riley stops them, realizing the zombies are also leaving the city, searching for a new place to exist. The film ends with the armored vehicle driving toward Canada, launching fireworks into the sky as it disappears into the distance.